right, now, everybody. Quiet, listen to me. We're going to start a show.
You're listening to the Ink and Paint Club Podcast, your weekly animation discussion show. You can find episodes every week on the show's YouTube page, and if you like the show, subscribe and share it with your friends. Because that would be pretty rad.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Ink and Paint Club Podcast. I am your host JD, and with me is my co-host Kyle.
No scheduling issues here. It's Kyle, and he's here.
He is here after many technical issues.
Yeah.
So yeah, this week's kind of special, Kyle. Do you know why?
Because it's our anniversary.
Oh, you remembered.
I did.
Yeah, everybody. It's been officially 2 years. Well, actually, it was like 2 years a couple weeks ago. Or like last week. Yeah, we've been doing this stupid show for 2 years. Can you believe it, Kyle?
And we still got 2 fans, one for each year.
Pretty much. No, I think we've gotten a few more. Yeah. So June, I think it was June 7th of 2015 is when we started this show. And I think June 9th is when we posted the first episode. So, yeah, it's weird thinking that we've been doing this show for 2 whole years. And, it's been crazy. Got some fans on here, you know, got some new listeners, especially in the last couple weeks. It's been great, you know.
We laughed, we cried, we had some discourse.
Yeah.
Cried.
It's been all kinds of stuff. So last year, we on our anniversary show, we decided, hey, we're gonna take questions from our listeners and answer them on the show, and so we're gonna do that again this year. I put a post up on our Facebook last week and got a few questions. Actually, a good chunk of questions. I think a lot more than last year, actually. And Kyle and I are just going to answer some questions from the listeners.
Okay.
Well, don't sound too enthused, Kyle.
Okay.
There you go. Alright, so, let's pull up the list of questions. Alright, here we go. Alright, so our first question comes in from our ever-faithful listener, Tyler, who, this is more of a question for me, Kyle, because, Tyler wants to know, how long does it take you to record and edit an episode? Well, recording takes technically however long an episode lasts, so usually about an hour. Actually getting to the recording could be anywhere from an hour to 2 hours because Kyle and I like to shoot the shit before every episode.
It is fun.
Like, I'll tell Melanie, like, okay, Kyle and I are going to record at like 8 o'clock. We won't get started till 10.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I mean, it's kind of now. It's like almost 1 a.m. where I am right now. And we've been talking to you for like an hour and a half.
Well, my computer decided to shit out because I downloaded 80 gigs of King of the Hill.
Yeah, we had some technical issues, so it's not us, like, goofing off this time. But to answer the second part of the question, editing an episode really depends, because sometimes, like, when it's just a single topic episode, I can usually just put the graphics on and just, like, make sure an episode starts and ends where it needs to. Then I can just throw it into Premiere, and then really just takes however long Premiere and YouTube want to take to render and load everything. But then there's those episodes where, like, our waifu and our mom episodes and the top 10 ones where I changed the graphic on the podcast video every time we switch to a different thing, and that basically means I gotta sit through and scrub through the entire episode and that could take a couple hours. But it's generally no more than a couple hours to edit an episode, and then I kind of just leave the podcast to load onto YouTube overnight while I'm sleeping, so it's not too labor intensive. It's a pretty easy job, to be quite honest. I just make it more difficult than I need it to be. So yeah, there's that. Tyler also wants to know what our favorite animation studio is that is not Pixar or Disney. And Kyle, since I spoke for like 5 minutes, I'll let you take this one first.
It was like a whole 5 minutes.
Whole 5 minutes.
Crazy.
I know.
Not Pixar or Disney. That's...
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age. I can say for sure I don't like DreamWorks.
DreamWorks is really hit or miss. Like, I feel like for every 3 really bad movies DreamWorks makes, they make a really good one. Like, they'll go a couple movies and they'll make How to Train Your Dragon, or like they'll make a couple movies and then they'll make Captain Underpants. And I don't know, it's really strange how their ratio of hit to miss is.
Yeah. Let me think here. Let me think. That's a good question. Shit.
Well, I have an answer if you want to take a minute.
Well, go for it.
So obviously I really like Leica, who did Coraline, Paranorman, and Kubo. But I also like, I think they're called Cartoon Saloon. I think they're like a Irish or whatever. They're the guys that did like Book of Kells and Song of the Sea. I don't know. I just think their animation style is like really kind of interesting, and I like those stories that they tell, because it's a lot of like that kind of Irish folklore stuff that you don't really get to hear a lot about. So I think they're pretty cool.
I'll go with the whack fu people. I think it's Anka or something. Stupid Anka. They do whack fu. They're amazing. It's all on Flash.
Yeah, I've never actually sat down and watched Wak Fu. I know you love that show.
Yeah.
But yeah, from the clips I've seen, like, they do amazing things with just in Flash. Like, I couldn't tell with some of the clips.
They're, it's Ankama animation. That's what it is.
I gotcha.
No, their character design is amazing. Their animation is amazing. Their movies are fucking amazing. So
do they even do the movies in Flash?
I have no idea. I don't even think I've seen the movies. I've only seen the clips of them. They look pretty great.
Have they done any other things besides Wak Fu?
I know they've done different series, but it's still like within the same realm of it. That's all I really know.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I still need to sit down and actually watch Wak Fu. I think it's on Netflix, so
I know there's something called Dofus as well, and
no,
I think it's the same thing, but not quite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like them. Studio and Kama.
Nice. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. You guys should check them out, because Wak Fu looks interesting, even though I've never watched it. So, cool. So, next question here. Vicky, one of our other very faithful listeners, wants to know, what was the first anime you ever watched?
I want to say Dirty Pair was probably the first thing I've seen.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Oh. Kind of a long time ago. Maybe Tech TV or something.
Oh, wow. Pulling that old gem out.
Yeah, they had some animation or whatever, and I think I saw Dirty Pair first, and this was before Pokemon, because everybody's gonna say either Digimon, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Those are like the normal ones, but I'll go with that one.
Okay. What's that show about? I've never heard of that.
I don't remember too much from it, but I know it is 2 girls. One has red hair and one has blue hair, and that's all I remember.
Okay. Yeah,
They're like spies or some shit. It's like a sci-fi thing.
All right then. Yeah, I've never heard of that show before. I want to say the first one I watched is Pokemon, but if my memory serves, I actually think the first anime I ever saw was Inuyasha. And it's not because I wanted to. It's because when I was young, my mom got cable for a little bit, and my brother, and I probably told the story before. But my brother and I were just flipping channels late at night, and Inuyasha was on Adult Swim, and that was when I learned that cartoon characters could swear.
Nice.
Because, like, Inuyasha said damn it or something. I'm like, what? Cartoons can't swear.
Whoa now.
What's this giant wolf man with a giant sword? What's that? And then I probably started watching Toonami and watched, like, Dragon Ball and shit.
I think that was the same with me. It was just like late night channel switching.
Yeah. That reminds me, like, I don't know if anyone has ever heard of this. It's something called Spiral. And I, for life of me, cannot remember what it was about. But I was flipping channels, and this is like in high school. I was flipping channels at like 4 a.m, and like on public access was this really bizarre anime called Spiral. It's like, I think it was like some like Psychic Kids or something, one of those kind of shows. But like, it's just weird seeing, just random anime you've never seen before just on public access at 4 a.m.
That's pretty great.
Oh god. Yeah, so Inuyasha. There's that. Let's see, where are we at here? Matt, who has been a longtime follower of mine and been a good supporter of the show as well. He wants to know, was there ever a time you stopped watching cartoons, and if so, what brought you back?
Yes, all the time.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do enlighten me.
Well, I wasn't the best child when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was pretty unintentional, but I would lose my TV privileges all the time. So there were large gaps of not watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how Ash got to the Orange Islands. What the fuck happened?
Oh.
Just stuff like that. I guess getting good grades would be how I got back into
I guess that works.
Yeah, but yeah, that was kind of fucked up in childhood.
Oh yeah. I don't think there's ever been a time where I didn't watch cartoons. Like, I've always watched cartoons in some manner. I mean, during the days where like Cartoon Network was switching over to a lot of live action stuff, I didn't watch cartoons as much. Like I didn't watch Chowder or Flapjack with any regularity, but like, I mean, if we'll count it, I mean, I was still watching like internet animation and stuff like that. So I wasn't like watching mainstream animation stuff, but I was still watching cartoons in some capacity. I don't know. It's just it's usually my go-to stuff. I don't like watch a lot of live action shows.
Same.
And not to say that like I'm opposed to it, because there are live action shows that I watch. It's just animation is just like what I'm passionate about, so it's that's kind of what I draw to when I want to watch something.
Cartoon Network was like, here's my partner's a gym monkey.
Way to go.
Yeah, and here's Squirrel Boy, and I was like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah, well, that was kind of like the time where I think that was back when I was watching more Nickelodeon than I was Cartoon Network. But then basically when Adventure Time came over, it's like they switched almost overnight. Where I honestly cannot remember the last thing on Nickelodeon that I watched.
Turtles?
Yeah, I think I'm actually behind on Turtles. I think they started a new season recently, and I haven't watched it yet because I was kind of thrown off because like the last season ended, and had a pretty nice ending, but for whatever reason, for the last season, they're going to this, like, every episode is a different story kind of thing.
Just making a bunch of non-canon things.
Pretty much, like Usagi Yojimbo or whatever, the bunny ninja guy is gonna show up. Mark Hamill is like some dragon guy. It's basically like, I don't think there's supposed to be like a through plot for the season like there usually was. But yeah, but Cartoon Network, I still watch like Steven Universe, and I think it might be about it actually.
Jesus.
And obviously we've been keeping up with a couple different animes lately, but yeah, I don't think I've ever stopped watching cartoons since I was a little kid, so.
If there's nothing on, you just watch reruns.
Oh yeah, totally.
That's what I do.
Oh yeah, like just this morning I watched a couple episodes of Clone High.
Nice.
Just because I could. Yeah. So. Okay. Matt also wants to know, who has the best writings? Who has the best writing, animation style, visual jokes, etc. out of Pixar, DreamWorks, Disney, Illumination, or Blue Sky? Which is a lot of options to go off of.
I'd go with Disney.
I think writing-wise, I think Pixar and Disney are pretty tied at the moment, because Pixar's not like in the stage of their whatever anymore where it's like every single one of them is a hit. Like, they'll have a hit every now and then, but like most of them have been like kind of mediocre lately, but Disney's been really good. Animation-wise, that really depends on what kind of animation you're talking about. Because I think for like character animation, I think like Disney's doing a really good job. And I think DreamWorks does a really good job with character animation, because I think they tend to go a little more crazy with their gestures and stuff. But when you're going for like environment stuff, like Pixar has that stuff on lockdown. Like, I didn't like Big Good Dinosaur wasn't like an amazing movie, but goddamn, the environments of that were beautiful. Just, I don't know. Pixar is always trying to find some new thing to kind of master, and I think after Good Dinosaur, they mastered like realistic environments and stuff. I don't know. I would definitely say Illumination and Blue Sky. I wouldn't even include anything on this list because I cannot stand Illumination movies. And Blue Sky, I only know that they made Ice Age and the Peanuts movie, so they haven't done a lot that impresses me. So,
as far as jokes go, DreamWorks is always like fart and like a bunch of pop culture jokes, and that makes me not like them. That's why I think Disney and Pixar maybe have it down, because like you hit a guy with glasses and not hit him.
Yeah, I think for like I think comedy-wise, Disney's doing really good. Pixar, I never really thought that Pixar movies were like overly funny. Like they have jokes in it, but like I don't know, Disney movies like Wreck-It Ralph and like Zootopia and stuff, like I laughed consistently through that whole those movies.
Yeah.
Pixar, I think Pixar has a lot more emotional depth to a lot of their movies, and that's where they're really strong. But when it comes to just like being comedically funny, I think they're not always on top, and I don't think they need to be most of the time. I think they do fine with their stories most of the time.
Mostly.
So I think what your takeaway for this question is that Disney and Pixar are pretty much on top right now, which really makes me sad, because I really wish they weren't. I want people to challenge Disney and Pixar because they've been on top for so long. But I mean, if they're the only ones putting out consistently good work, then, you know, what are you going to do?
They've also been in trouble a couple times as well. So
for what?
Before the Renaissance, they were like close to going bankrupt.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like legal trouble, like they
No.
screwed someone over or something. But yeah, it's kind of weird, like interesting how Disney kind of came back, like was in trouble, came back, kind of faltered there for a little bit, but now they're kind of like coming back again.
From what I understand, we're going through a second renaissance.
I could say that. Cause like Tangled was pretty good, Frozen was pretty good, Wreck-It Ralph's is great, Zootopia was great, Moana was pretty standard princess stuff, but it was well done. So yeah, I definitely agree that Disney's going through another renaissance because I think they're putting out like consistently good stuff. Even that Winnie the Pooh movie they put out a couple years ago was really good. Like that was like, going back to standard form, and I think they kind of did a really good job with that. I need to rewatch that movie again.
It's just with stuff like that, no one really cares.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even think Princess and the Frog did all that well.
No, Princess and the Frog was kind of the end of their kind of middling period during the 2000s, like when they did like Home on the Range and Brother Bear and all that stuff.
Those were hits.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Yeah, I don't care for really either of those movies, but But yeah, Disney's coming back, and I'm okay with it. I'm just kind of annoyed that anytime there's the Academy Awards come around, it's like I want to root for something else that isn't Disney, but it's like if I'm being realistic, that's who's gonna win.
Everything on the list is Disney.
It's Disney or Pixar, and there might be someone else thrown in there. But it's a safe bet to say that Disney or Pixar is going to win that award most years.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So Brian wants to know, what is the most obscure cartoon you've ever seen?
You go. I gotta get my list prepared.
Okay, so I was rereading the questions today, and it actually, because I was racking my brain, because I don't watch a lot of obscure stuff. Like most of the stuff I've watched is stuff everyone's seen. But this memory came back to me. I remember I must have been 8 or 9. And again, I was at my mom's house, and we were watching like I think the WB like during the day on a weekend or whatever. And there's this animated movie. It's like an animated Tom Sawyer movie, but there's animals. They're all animals, and like there's a bunch of country music in it. And I looked it up like last year because I was like, I remember this. I don't remember what it is, but yeah, it's like it's like the story of Tom Sawyer. It's got a bunch of country music singers in it, and everyone's animals. I don't remember what the full name of the movie is. It might have just been Tom Sawyer or whatever, but I've never heard anyone else talk about this movie before. So if you've heard of this movie and have seen it, let us know what you think in the comments. But that's probably the most obscure thing I've seen.
Okay.
Oh, I did watch this thing. I don't remember what it was. I think it like came up on one of the cartoon websites, or I saw it on YouTube or something. But it was like this stop motion, Rip Van Winkle, special or something. I think it was made by the same animation studio did like the California Raisins or whatever. So it's that kind of stop motion.
Weird.
It's real bizarre. Like just the animation style and like the story and stuff. It's like really odd. But yeah, I watched that a couple months ago, and it was real strange. And I don't think I've heard anybody talk about that either. But yeah, Kyle, what have you seen?
Okay. So there's this alien show from a while back, and it was called Space Goofs.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say Butt Ugly Martians for some reason.
No, that's way more not obscure than this one.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the whole internet knows what that show is.
Yeah. No, it was called Space Goofs, and I remember it was on Fox Kids. It was a French cartoon, maybe Canadian, but it was like a green one, a purple one, a blue one, an orange one, and a two-headed red one.
Interesting.
And I remember that. I've never heard anybody talk about that one.
Yeah, I used to watch Fox Kids a lot as a kid. I'd bounce between that and Kids WB, and I've never heard of that.
Looking around, I found that Creepy Crawlers had a cartoon, and I remember watching a few episodes of that.
Oh, I've never seen that, but I vaguely remember that. Was that also on Fox Kids?
I remember it being on UPN. It was played right before the Sonic cartoon that I really liked.
Oh. The only thing I've seen on UPN is because after the third season of Digimon, like it wasn't on Fox anymore, and I didn't even know they made a third season. I just assumed the show had ended. But they were playing the fourth season on UPN for some reason.
Weird.
Before they moved it over to like ABC Family. Yeah, I've never heard of either of those.
Well, Creepy Crawlers, if anybody remembers, I don't even know if they make them anymore, but it was like an easy bake oven for boys. Yeah,
basically instead of making cakes and stuff, you made like these little jelly insect-looking things.
It was like made of plastic vinyl.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think they make those like hot oven things for kids anymore. Like I don't know if you can buy an easy bake oven anymore.
I think you can still buy one.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen like the replacement cartridges or whatever recipes still.
Huh. Yeah, I haven't seen those in years, so it's interesting.
They made a superhero cartoon based around them, which was weird as fuck.
Oh, yeah, that is weird.
The next one is probably the most obscure. No one's ever heard of this, ever, in the history of the world.
Oh, yeah?
But it was called The Mouse and the Monster.
Oh, yeah, I've never heard of that.
It was played, I think, on UPN as well, when they had their little blog with Jumanji and Iron Man and Hulk.
Okay, dude, just quick sidebar on Jumanji. Like, why does Jumanji look exactly like a classic Scoopo production, but it has nothing to do with them?
Yeah, that really weirds me out.
Like, the character design and the animation style look exactly like Wild Thornberries or something, but it has nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. But tell you about your mouse show.
This Mouse and the Monster show, it's like Rocky and Bullwinkle mixed with Ralph Bakshi, whatever.
That sounds bizarre.
Mixed with beatnik shit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very like, hey daddy-o kind of stuff. It's so weird. And I used to love the show as a kid. And it was like a famous piano musician had his brain stuck in a monster, and like this Mickey Mouse knockoff is his best friend.
That
it was so odd. Weird. I tried to watch an episode just recently and I couldn't. It's too out there.
It doesn't hold up well.
Yeah. The other thing was, not many people remember Tasmania.
I remember Tasmania.
Well, I mean...
that was like early Kids WB stuff.
Yeah. Taz had his own show, which was odd.
Yeah, what Warner Brothers thought, oh yeah, the Tasmanian Devil needs his own show with like a does he have like a family or something?
Yeah. You know that character that doesn't even fucking speak? Let's give him a cartoon show, and his dad will be Bob Hope.
Is it actually Bob Hope?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because I think Bob Hope was dead by that point, wasn't he?
Yeah. I think it's just like a character of him. But yeah, that was weird. Big Guy and Rusty, if anybody remembers that.
I remember Big Guy and Rusty. It was so... I never watched Big Guy and Rusty, but like I thought it was just kind of weird looking.
I think it's the same animation people for like Men in Black and Godzilla.
Yeah. I remember the animation style kind of being similar to Men in Black.
But
I need to rewatch Men in Black. That was a good show.
The comic is, what is that guy's called? Jeff Darrow.
Yeah, his art style looked really familiar. What else has he done?
He's done a lot of, like, other stuff. He was doing Deadpool comics, the covers of them, pretty recently. Can't think of any, like, actual comics, but that guy will make you want to quit being an artist.
Why? Is he just, like, that good?
His stuff is so fucking detailed.
Oh.
Like, he can draw a giant monster fight, and, like, people with looking at it in windows, and just, there's so much fucking detail.
Damn, go him.
Mighty Max, which was also based on the Polly Pocket for Boys.
I vaguely remember that. I think that was on Fox Kids, too.
And then, Nightmare Ned. I never hear anybody talk about any of these cartoons.
I remember hearing about Nightmare Ned a couple months ago on someone was, like, making a creepypasta video or something.
Weird.
Like, a bit, like, or maybe it's like a lost media thing. Like, there's a lot of episodes that are missing.
Maybe. That's all I got.
Do you remember... Oh, fuck, what was that show? I don't remember. Never mind. I don't know. It's late. Get off my back.
Okay.
So this is kind of a weird question, but my soon-to-be sister-in-law wanted to know, what's one thing that you want your... She said non-animation dummies, which I mean people who aren't in the know of animation practices. What's one thing you want them to know about the field or about your work?
Anastasia's not a Disney movie.
Yeah. So let's go through the things. Anastasia's not a Disney movie. Not every stop-motion movie is made by Tim Burton.
Yeah, those are...
That's the big ones. I guess it just in general of like animation and like what I do and like art and stuff, like it's just very labor intensive and it takes forever. I know for me personally, and even for you, Kyle, I know Kyle and I are like super perfectionists when we want to like draw something, so we spend 1 million hours on like everything we do.
Mine would be, no, I won't draw your fucking tattoo. Get off my ass.
But they just want your art on their body, Kyle.
Yeah, and they don't want to...
You should be so honored.
They don't want to pay for it, so they can suck my dick.
Alright, that's fair, I guess. Yeah. I also want to just... Yeah, it kind of on a similar line. And like, yeah, art is... It's not like a full-time job, but it is a job because it takes forever. So yeah, if you want to like have artists do stuff for you, like be willing to pay them a decent wage, because I like those posts that go around on Tumblr every now and then, like basically measuring out like how much an hour you're making doing art, and you're usually the money that you're getting from commissions like on DeviantArt or on Tumblr or whatever. And the amount of time you put into it versus what you're getting paid like well below minimum wage for your work. And that's kind of shitty, to be honest.
Well, it's because people do it as a base price and not as a...
On the hour thing.
It's not like a fucking taxi cab thing. You don't put the meter on when you're drawing something.
Yeah, and... and like when you're freelancing and stuff, you can do that. But when you're dealing with like some stupid teenager on DeviantArt or whatever, they're not gonna pay you, based on how many hours you put into something, because because that could get expensive real fast, and obviously they're not gonna have the money for that. But yeah, so if you're wanting to, buy art from an artist online, be willing to put a decent amount of money on there because, most people deserve it.
Exactly.
Art ain't free, guys. I don't like to do art for people out of the goodness of goodness out of my heart. I would love to be able to do that and be able to survive on that, but sadly I cannot. So when people actually do commission me, it's like, great, I can pay a bill now. I can have heat for another month, which is weird to say because I don't think I've gotten a commission in like months. I probably have a bunch I need to do still. I don't know. God damn, I'm stuffed up today. Kyle, is there anything else you want animation, art, people not in the know that should know?
Oh my god. No, I'm good.
Okay. Wow, we blazed through these questions a lot faster than I thought we would. It's only been like a half hour. So, as our last question, and this kind of transitions to something I want to talk about anyway, my friend Ariel wanted to know, what are your plans with the show, as in, like, our podcast? Like, are we planning to just keep on doing what we're doing? So, I've been working on this for a little bit, and I've talked to Kyle, and we kind of both agreed that, starting next week, at the next episode after this, we are getting rid of the review show. And it's not to say that we're not going to be doing reviews anymore. We will. But we've opted to kind of go back to what we were doing when we first started the show and roll the review show and the podcast back into one show. Mostly because there's a lot of podcast episodes that probably could count towards reviews, and it got real confusing on like what constituted as a podcast, what constituted as a review. So I don't know. Also, I'm changing the graphics a little bit just to make the video editing process go a lot faster. But other than that, the show's more or less going to stay the same. It's still going to be me and Kyle with the occasional guest. It's still going to be us shooting the shit, doing movie reviews and talking about topics we want to talk about. But it'll just all be one show. I do want to get back into posting, sorry. Ugh, I'm like super stuffed up. I do want to get back into doing game stuff for the channel. I know I did a couple streams a few months ago. And if I get a better computer at some point, I could go back to streaming. But I might try doing some just like playing a game and talking over it for a half hour, and posting that up instead. If that's something people guys would watch. But yeah, so there's going to be some small changes coming next week. Nothing major. I also want to announce that during the month of July, I will be gone. I will be gone on my honeymoon because I'm getting married in like 2 weeks from today when we're recording this. So what we have done, because I won't be around to like edit the podcast, we've gotten some of our friends that have recorded some shows ahead of time that I'll be having scheduled to put up while I'm gone. So look forward to that. I've listened to a few of them and I think you'll enjoy it. They've been pretty good so far, and I hope you guys like it as well. But other than that, that's the big podcast news that I can think of. Kyle, do you have any other aspirations you want to do with our show?
Of course. No, not really.
No. Yeah. I mean, if you guys got more episodes more ideas for episodes that you'd like us to do, I mean, please let us know whenever in the comments. Hit us up on Facebook or Twitter. We're really quick to respond on stuff, and we've got a schedule of stuff pretty much consistently for most of the rest of the year. But there's still some blank spots sitting around, so if you got an idea for an episode you want us to cover, or there's a movie you want us to review, or a show, or whatever, I mean, we're pretty open to stuff, so Yeah. Yeah. Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this... What? What was your question, dear? Oh, sorry. Melody's sitting next to me playing a video game, and she had a question that I didn't put up. She wanted to know why I don't draw myself with a beard. Because when my little podcast doodle of myself, I don't really draw myself with a beard, mostly because I have a beard really inconsistently. I have a beard because I grow a beard pretty fast. I don't like having a beard. It's just I'm too lazy to shave it most of the time. So if you ever see a live picture of me, I will probably have some semblance of a beard. It's very rare if I have a picture of myself without a beard, but like I don't like having a beard. Like I just shaved it off yesterday, and I already have like 5 o'clock shadow this morning.
I like it for myself.
Well, I know you like having like a fucking lion's mane worth of hair, Kyle.
I sure do.
We have to rein that in for the wedding.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. We'll figure something out. We'll tie your hair up in a bow or something. You'll look real refined, like Gaston or something, with a beard, a fiery beard.
All right.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, that's all the questions we had. Unless you have any more, dear. Melody's giving the no. Okay, cool. So yeah. That does it for our questions for this year. I'm sorry we blazed through it like really fast. I thought it would take a lot longer. I think it took a lot longer last time because we had 3 people.
Yeah.
What? Which new Pixar movie? I'll save my thoughts for Coco when it comes out in November. I have some words for Coco, but I will reserve judgment till I actually see it. Even if I do like to make troll comments on Pixar's Facebook page. I know, I'm sorry. So yeah, I guess to close this out, I just want to thank everyone who's been listening for the last 2 years. It's kind of weird knowing that we've been doing this for 2 years. Like, I don't think I've had a project this consistent for this long a period. So, yeah, I want to thank everyone who listens. I want to thank all of our friends, especially you, dear, because you've been on a few. And you, Kyle. For everyone who helps us out with the show, because I know there's a lot of times where I'll have to clamor for like, hey, I need someone to review this movie, or I need someone to talk about this thing with me because either Kyle's out or whatever. And we've had a lot of friends who help us out, and I really appreciate all the help that I get from everybody. Yeah, I'm bad at thanking people, and I also can't breathe out my nose right now.
Gross.
Kyle, do you have any parting words at this momentous occasion?
Nah.
You don't want to say anything to anybody?
Thanks for listening, losers.
Kyle's just tsundere. He can't show his emotions.
I mean, thank you guys. It really means a lot to me.
Yeah. We had some fun times. And thank you to the new people who will be showing up in the episodes we are going to have up for July. We had a few new people that are going to be doing some shows for us. I don't know how consistently, but if you guys like them and if they feel like coming back on, they're more than welcome to. So I hope you guys enjoy them. Be nice in my absence. But Kyle, unless there's anything else you have? No?
No.
Okay, cool. Kyle's got nothing. So that does it for this week. Come back next week for our very minimal show change. But until next week, I guess we'll just catch everybody later.
Catch you on the flip side.
The flippiest.
Thank you for listening to the Ink and Paint Club podcast. If you like this episode, remember to share it. Leave a comment, write a review, tell your mom, all that good stuff. Also, be sure to follow the show on Facebook where we post animation news and discussion topics daily. Thanks again, and we will see you in the next episode.